I've said from the very beginning of our Who Will Let the Dogs Out journey that the animal crisis does not exist because people don't care, but because they don't know. And I think the same is true of animal welfare. I have a neighbor who claims to love her dog, but leaves that dog alone in a small pen pretty much 24/7 in all weather. She doesn't know that's not love. Penning up a dog full-time outside is normal and acceptable in her world. Each time her dog escapes, he bites another person. He's not a safe dog, hence the pen. Her dog cries and barks through most of the day and night, but euthanizing that dog to her would be the absolute worst thing to do. Instead, he's tortured. I also think that when we say we love dogs and that's why we would never euthanize a shelter dog for space or length of stay, we are legitimizing warehousing, treating the dogs like inventory we are holding, hoping someday someone will want them. Leaving a dog to live in a kennel inside for 23 hours of its day is torture. They don't get to run or sniff or explore or play or be a dog. And that's not loving a dog, that's neglecting. We do it because we believe that a humane death is the worst possible outcome for any shelter dog. But I don't think it is. I think months and years of shelter life is far worse. I think that's simply keeping a dog alive. It's not giving them a life. It's not sheltering them. And keeping a dog alive so that we don't have to feel sadness or guilt or shame is no reason to keep a dog alive. It's selfish. Never mind the thousands of dogs who suffer on the streets who can't come in because that kennel space and the resources needed to keep that dog alive are not available to save another. I know those words will make some people angry, and I'm okay with that. I want all of us to think more about this situation from the dog's point of view and not ours. I've met far too many miserable dogs existing but not living in shelters. I'm sick of the stories of the growing stray populations all over the country. Dogs who are dying of neglect, sickness, being hit by cars. If you believe so strongly that we should not be euthanizing dogs for space or length of stay, then you need to get off your butt and be part of the solution. You need to work for more dog-friendly housing. You need to volunteer or foster. You need to educate people about backyard breeding and puppy mills. You need to support your shelter with your donations, your time, your words, and your votes. You need to advocate for better dog laws and pet licensing. You need to work on finding solutions to the veterinary crisis. You need to fight to end breed discrimination in insurance practices and housing policies. You need to teach children about humane care and safe dog interaction and help raise a generation to end this crisis. Pick something and get to work. Don't just sit back and condemn euthanizing animals for space or length of stay. Just because the numbers say a shelter isn't killing dogs doesn't mean they aren't killing them by leaving them to die outside the shelter. And just because an animal is alive doesn't mean we've given them a life. Be a part of the solution. Learn more or reach out to talk about sheltering. It's time we all start having real conversations about how we finally solve this crisis, how we help the dogs in the shelters and those waiting for help outside of it.